Hi friends, Mrs. Self. I'd like to share a book with you today. Today the book is called Rita and Ralph's Rotten Day. Have you ever had a rotten day, friends? I know I had. It just seems like some things just weren't going my way and it was such a bummer. So let's hear about Rita and Ralph's rotten day and what happened. Oh, look. Look, she has an ice pack on top of her head. So from the cover of this story, what do you predict may happen? Yeah, I think so. Maybe she gets her head hurt and she has kind of a grumpy face. So maybe she gets hurt and that's what makes her day so rotten. That's a good prediction. So we'll have to read and find out. The story was written by Carmen Agrediti and Pete Oswald. Rita and Ralph's Rotten Day. So I'm going to read and then I'll show you the pictures, okay, friends? In two little houses on two little hills lived two best friends. Every morning, Rita and Ralph would open their doors, step outside, close their doors, and run. So there's Rita coming out of her house and Ralph coming out of his. They would run down the hill and then up the hill and then down the hill and then up the hill. And look, and here they are. There's an apple tree right in the middle. They'd meet under the apple tree and high five. Pinky shake, do a cha-cha, play zombie tag, and make daisy chains. Looks like fun. Then, one day, they played a new game. Sticks and stones. Ow! Yelled Rita. Uh-oh. Ralph froze. This was bad. Really bad. So they ran away. So there they are playing their game. And then there's Rita. See, she has a bump on her head. So Ralph accidentally hit her with the rock. They ran away down the hill, and then up the hill, and then down the hill, and then up the hill. They opened their doors and raced inside and closed their doors. Rita was mad. And Ralph was sorry. So Ralph, he opened the door and stepped outside and closed the door. It was 100 years to Rita's house. That's what it felt like. But she was his best friend. So there he is coming out of his house. So Ralph went down the hill, and then up the hill, and down the hill, and up the hill, and down the hill, and up the hill, and down the hill, and up the hill. So there he goes. He's leading his house, and there's the trail, down and up and down and up and down. And then there he is, approaching Rita's house. The long walk had made Ralph a smidge angry. I'm sorry, he barked. But he did not sound one bit sorry. So Rita did not open the door. Said Ralph, and he stomped off. So there he is, telling her I'm sorry. And look at his face. His face. He does not look sorry. And then there he is, stomping off. He stomped down the hill, and then up the hill, and down the hill, and up the hill, and down the hill, and up the hill, and down the hill, and up the hill. And there he is, back in his house. He opened the door, stepped inside, and closed the door. Now, Ralph was mad. And Rita was kind of sorry. So she opened the door and stepped outside and closed the door. And she ran. What do you think she ran? You got it, friends. Down the hill and then up the hill, and down the hill and 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 up the hill. And there she is at Ralph's house. As she ran, she thought about Ralph and that rock. And just thinking about it made her mad all over again. I want my pine cone back, she shouted. Ralph opened the door. Look, there comes the pine cone flying out. And closed the door. And Rita tromped. Where do you think she tromped? Down the hill and up the hill. And then down the hill and up the hill. And down the hill and up the hill. Whew, it's exhausting, friends. She opened her door, marched inside, and slammed that door shut. Now, Rita was mad. And Ralph was mad. And Rita was kind of sad. Ralph was sad too. See, there they are being mad. And then they felt sad. Why do you think they feel sad, friends? Yeah, I think you're right. They're sad because even though they got upset with each other, they're still what? Best friends. Yeah. And being mad and shouting and throwing things. That is not how we show our friends love, right? Oh, no. Goodness, no. Absolutely not. And two little houses on two little hills. No one slept a wink. It had been a rotten day. So there's Rita in her bed. And there's Ralph in his bed. And they're not sleeping. What do you think they're thinking about? Yeah, I think they're probably thinking about each other. Yeah. And they're thinking, ugh, this has been a terrible day. I know that I told Ralph he had to give my pine cone back. And Ralph threw a rock at my head. And we got angry. But I miss my friend. And this isn't good. Yeah, they're feeling not good. Just when it seemed that nothing would be right again, it was a new day. Rita and Ralph opened their doors, stepped outside, closed their doors, and went. Where do you think they went? Oh, so there they are coming out of their houses. And then down the hill and up the hill, and down the hill and up the hill. And look, there's the apple tree right in the middle. I'm sorry, said Rita. I'm sorrier, said Ralph. And they meant it. So there they are apologizing. They did a high five, and pinky shaked, and a cha-cha.
And they played zombie tag.
And they made daisy chains. Because best friends always find a way. There they are, playing all their games. To meet in the middle. There they are reading a book. Let's see, what does their book say? 101 Things to Build with a little help from your friends. And that's the end. So that was Rita and Ralph's rotten day. Yeah. So what made the day so rotten? I mean, they got mad, right? And they got in a fight. And Rita got hit in the head with a rock. And Rita made Ralph give her pine cone back, which was kind of a bummer. But really, the big bummer of the day was, right, they were best friends. And they were not being friendly. They were not showing their love to one another. They were being kind of angry. They were acting out of anger and hurt and frustration, right? They weren't being kindness. They weren't staying calm. And so that's really what made it a rotten day. And they stayed up all night long thinking about, oh gosh, I've really done wrong with my friend. I've not shown them love. I've not been kind. And I'm feeling really, really sorry about that. And so the next day, They apologized. And they were still best friends, right? Absolutely. And that's the way God is with us. Sometimes we don't always make the best choices, and sometimes we don't always do the right thing. But God still loves us, right? And he still sent his son to die on a cross to forgive our sins. And that was the ultimate show of love, right? He is the best friend of all. He showed us that he loved us by giving us his son, forgiving our sins, and saying, I know that you're not perfect. I know that you're going to make poor choices, and that's okay because I love you anyway. So isn't that wonderful? Just like Rita and Ralph were best friends, and at the end of the day, when they woke up the next morning, they said, oh, I still love you. You're still my friend, and I'm sorry. Let's go play, right? All right, friends. Well, I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.